Welcome into Black and Gold Insider. This is the Club World Cup edition. We're in the throes of the tournament, and joining us from their home base down in the deep south in Georgia is assistant coach Ante Razov. Ante, how are things between games? How do you getting ready for game one in the Club World Cup and game two, obviously a far away from home?
Yeah, it's recovery mode for the guys that played. It's preparation for Espérance coming up on Friday. A little bit of a post-match analysis of Chelsea, just to kind of cover our bases and look to go after it. Tournament that we're still in, and we feel we have a good chance to do something.
Well, let's look back at Chelsea because a lot of people impressed. Obviously, the result didn't go your way, but there was opportunities. And this is a team that was the best team in the world in 2021, the most expensive roster. And here's LAFC running. Just for you personally, because you've played in MLS so long, to take the field, this was a benchmark moment. Any emotions that you, obviously being locked into coach, but emotions that you thought about thinking about where this club, where this league has come?
We're in a World Cup, and so that is the message we're giving to our players. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Embrace it, enjoy it. We understand the challenge that we're up against a club like Chelsea, even Flamengo, where we are considerable underdogs. But don't be afraid, be brave, go out there and try to play our football. And I think we gave a good representation of ourselves. I think we would be maybe a little disappointed in our final third, finishing off a play, because I think we could have easily walked away with a draw, and maybe even more, because the game was certainly on the edge up until probably the second goal.
And talking about those moments about being brave, how did you see that team adapt? I mean, from watching it from all the way out here in Los Angeles, that shone through. But when you see player for player, because Chelsea has, the superior player, just financially speaking, at every position, how did you see the guys close the gap individually and collectively?
I think they were just free. We just said play. They're people. They put on their clothes and socks the same way we do. Don't worry about the things we can't control. We were quite comfortable with the ball. Playing through. Obviously, they are supreme athletes first and foremost, and so that makes quite a difference. But don't back down, don't back up, and continue to push. And I think in the second half, when we really started pushing and we sensed we were going to maybe get one, there was real excitement, and there was a really good moment for our players to see, like, we can do this. We can stand here and play with these guys. We understand in any moment they can make a play, and certainly, they bring in two guys that are probably $150, $160 million combined, and yeah, that is what you're up against.
Not much you can do about that. You played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium before. How was the surface? And we saw a couple guys, but how did that play out in your game plan and everything you guys did?
Yeah, I don't want to complain about the surface too much. We've heard it's always different laying it down indoors or on top of an artificial surface. Some of the bounces, the slipping, because, they still water the field, which is important, but then it creates kind of this slick surface. The field played okay. It didn't affect the outcome in any way. And so I want to keep it positive with regards to that. I know the FIFA has worked really hard to try to get this right for the World Cup coming up, and this is a big trial for them. I think there could be still improvements, but the field wasn't a distraction or effect. Now, outdoors, how that looked with watering and drying up, I can't tell you. We haven't experienced that.
By the way, what's the heat like out there where you're at?
It's toasty. It's I think yesterday when we went out to train, the people at Mercer, who've been really great to us, said, "Welcome to Georgia heat," and it was really, really hot, man. Really hot.
Have you enjoyed any Georgia fare? A Waffle House, some of their fine pecans? Who knows?
We've stayed inside for the most part. We've ventured out to a restaurant, and yeah, we're trying the cuisine, but we also want to kind of maintain somewhat healthy lifestyle.
I knew that would be the answer. I threw it out there anyway. Ante, I've spoken to a lot of people, and these 90 minutes are pretty illuminated because it's Chelsea. You mentioned the athletes. You mentioned the speed of play. How, as coaches and players, what do you take away from this experience via tape, via what they went through that will help equip you later this season, down the road as a professional coach or player?
Certainly, it's a positive. You never like to lose, but you have to be realistic. What the video showed us, as we will present to the players today, some of the small errors that we made were things that we can control a little bit better. It had nothing to do with how much this guy's transfer was. There was an individual moment where, yes, there's quite a good play, but for the most part, the things we did with the ball, there were small little moments where we could have done a little bit better, and we know we can do better. And maybe that could have got us a point in this game.
What was the perception from the Chelsea coaches and players? Obviously, you have some time. We saw a really nice moment between Sergi and Cucurella, both Spanish fullbacks exchanging their jerseys. What was it like, and do you foresee maybe down the road that these relationships could help LAFC because of these 90 minutes that they played against Chelsea?
Yeah, the interaction after the game was very professional. I did hear the manager of Chelsea saying, you guys are a good team. You were maybe more difficult than they had probably expected. And so, but we felt that. We felt in the second half that there was some feeling from them on the field that this wasn't going quite according to their plan. And that kind of gives us a positive outlook on the approach that, guys, we can play. Okay. Are we going to beat Real Madrid, Liverpool, these guys? Probably not, but you know what? We're going to go down swinging, and that's the most important thing. And I think that will help us going down the road when we get back to MLS and really carry this momentum forward.
A brilliant philosophy, and I don't think anyone who takes on LAFC will fear them. This was obviously a huge effort. You guys were thinking about it since you beat Club America. And now you got to try and lift it again. So what is on the checklist ahead of this game Friday? You're going to head off to Nashville to take on Espérance of Tunis. I know you guys are diligent about your prep work. It's going to be a little trickier, I imagine, than getting the tape for Chelsea. But what's on the checklist for the players to be ready for a challenge so that they can maintain their Club World Cup hopes?
There's no easy opponent. They are very athletic. The athleticism of the teams, for the most part, in this tournament is off the charts at every position. They are a very aggressive team. They are constantly in their Champions League finals of Africa, constantly at the top of the Tunisian league. They have some really good players, some really dangerous players. So this is going to be a tough test. If we are able to execute in the critical moments, there's something there for us to take, and we're going to try to play to win the game.
Have you ever been to Tunisia? Any experience with the Tunisia exchange, or is this your entry point like so many others?
No, it'll be a first time.
How's the team feeling and looking ahead of this game, as they obviously have to make sure their efforts, they got to jump on a plane, going to have to deal with heat as well in Tennessee?
It's all part of the process. Everyone's calm. We understand what we have to do. We're going about our business every day. You're in a World Cup. And so preparation, the attention to detail, and then just letting the players kind of be free and not thinking too much of who the opponent is, who's this guy, all that, and then really focus on our game model and look to see if we can come into the final match with actually something really to play for.
How has it been for you, Ante, this experience? I know you want to keep it close to the vest, but how has it been for things that you've been able to take in as a coach and just as someone who's been in this sport for so long? I don't want to call it a shock to the system, but something very different than the day-to-day that you would face in MLS.
Yeah, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's really cool to be up close and to coach against Chelsea. You see the difference in what we're trying to do. We are improving all the time as a league, as a country. But you see now up against the highest of the high, that we have a little bit ways to go, but it's not a impossible task. And so that part for me is really cool, and to be involved and to say, yeah, I was able to coach in a World Cup is something that I could hang my hat on.
Well, Ante, we're all really proud out here, and thanks for carving some time out. I know the preparation's busy for all you guys, and best of luck on Friday against Espérance, and we'll all be tuning in to check you guys out.
All right, Max, we're going to keep this thing going.
Let's go. Let's go. There it is. Fire it up. I know you, my friend. Let's fire it up. Good luck on Friday. Safe travels off there to Nashville.
Thanks, Max. Take care, everyone. See you.